Joanna Kołaczkowska, one of Poland's most gifted and beloved comedy performers, has passed away at the age of 59. Her death marks a significant and deeply painful loss, not only for the Polish comedy and theater world but for generations of fans who found solace, joy, and reflection in her wit, timing, and unique way of observing the world through laughter. The news of her passing was announced early Thursday morning by the Robbie Cabaret, the performing group she had been an integral part of until April of this year. It was then that her health began to decline rapidly, forcing her to step away from the stage, a place she had called home for much of her adult life. In a heartfelt and somber statement, the group expressed the sorrow of losing a friend, a colleague, a sister in art. It is with great pain and sadness that we share the news that Joanna Kołaczkowska, our Asia, has passed away, they wrote. The simplicity of the statement carried a weight far heavier than words can hold. Her absence would soon be felt far beyond the confines of a theater or cabaret stage. She was more than a performer. She was a force of nature in human form, radiating light and laughter even in moments that didn't seem to warrant a smile. Her battle, they went on to say, was with the worst and most aggressive opponent. Cancer, brutal in its silent, creeping way, had taken from her the stage she loved so dearly and eventually the life that she filled with brilliance. She fought bravely, with dignity and hope, the statement continued. These weren't just polite words of farewell. They echoed the truth of someone who, even in her darkest days, clung to optimism, to the flicker of the possible, and to the support of those who never gave up believing in her recovery. Every treatment option had been explored, every modern miracle of medicine attempted. The will to live, both hers and those who loved her, remained strong throughout. But life, as it often does, remained indifferent. The miracle did not happen, they wrote with gut-wrenching finality. Despite the heartbreak, there was one small mercy. She passed peacefully, without pain, surrounded by those who mattered most, her closest family and dearest friends. That intimate circle of love held her in her final hours, offering a gentle goodbye to a woman who gave her life to the stage, to laughter, to connection. Her passing was not loud or dramatic, but rather quiet, dignified, and full of love, the very way she had lived. She has left behind an enormous void that nothing can fill, her colleagues mourned. This void is not just a metaphor, it's a presence in its own right, an empty space that once overflowed with her voice, her timing, her facial expressions that could speak entire novels without saying a word. It is a silence that echoes in the corridors of theaters, dressing rooms, and backstage hallways. It is a stillness where once there was life, motion, banter, and laughter. It is felt in the souls of those who performed beside her, those who danced in the rhythm of her improvisations and leaned into the safety of her comedic instincts. She wasn't just an actress or comedian. Joanna Kołaczkowska was art embodied. She was a living, breathing canvas painted with irony, tenderness, depth, and dazzling intelligence. In us, the people who shared the stage and life with her, they wrote, and in the world of art, which was her space, her home, her breath, the loss was immeasurable. To say she belonged to art is no overstatement. She didn't merely contribute to comedy. She reshaped the contours of it, gave it new hues and tones, and redefined what it meant to laugh while thinking and to think while laughing. Her talent, they said, was unparalleled, a phenomenon. In the world of performance, where hyperbole is often the currency of praise, these words were different. They were honest, anchored in the lived reality of working with someone whose very presence could alter the course of a performance. Joanna had the ability to elevate an entire production with a single look, a pause, or a cleverly placed line. Her humor never leaned on cruelty. Came from a deeper understanding of human nature, of how absurd and poignant life could be at the same time. "Thank you, Asia," the tribute concluded, using the affectionate nickname by which she was known to her closest companions and fans. "For the laughter, for the emotion, for the beauty and goodness you carried inside you and shared with the world." Those who knew her, even just as fans from afar, could attest to the truth of those words. There was a purity in her work that transcended scripts and costumes. She didn't just act or joke, she offered pieces of herself to audiences, unfiltered, vulnerable, hilarious, wise. It's a rare thing, and now it's gone. They ended the tribute with an image that could only bring tears. Wherever you are now, smiling, radiant, free, We believe you bring your laughter to others as you brought us hope and joy even in the darkest days. There's a comfort in imagining her spirit walking into a new stage somewhere in the beyond, met with applause, her smile lighting up that unknown realm the way it lit up the theater halls back home. But Joanna Kołaczkowska's story doesn't begin with her illness, nor should it end with her death. Her life was one of exploration, rebellion, wit, and relentless curiosity. Early in her career, she performed with the satirical group Drugi Garnitur, a troupe known for its sharp takes on social norms and cultural absurdities. From the start, Joanna had the unique ability to make audiences laugh without sacrificing depth. She saw through the surface of things and invited people to come see what she saw, a world both ridiculous and profound. Her performances with Drugi Garnitur laid the foundation for the path she would blaze in the years to come. It was her time with Cabaret Podium, however, that truly began to cement her status as a national treasure. For 10 years, she performed with this avant-garde comedy group, helping shape its voice and style. But she was never just a performer, she was a visionary. Her drive to create something truly independent and unfiltered led her to co-found the film studio Aoi, an ambitious endeavor that reflected her belief that comedy, like all art, needed space to breathe freely. She wasn't afraid to challenge convention or go against the grain. In fact, she seemed to thrive on it. In 2002, she joined the core team of Cabaret Robbie, a group that would become one of the most iconic and artistically respected comedy ensembles in Poland. Their blend of theatricality, philosophical undertones, and human insight found its ideal expression through Joanna's artistry. She brought gravity to the ridiculous and humor to the heavy. For over 2 decades, Cabaret Robbie remained a cornerstone of her creative life, and it was through this group that many discovered just how powerful comedy could be as a form of expression, resistance, and healing. The group continued to perform until spring 2025 when they were forced to suspend all activity following Joanna's diagnosis. It was a decision made out of respect and love, and the months that followed were filled with the agonizing awareness that her light might soon go out. And yet, through it all, Joanna remained a figure of strength. Her courage inspired not just her colleagues, but audiences, fellow artists, and even those who had never seen her perform live. She became a symbol of resilience, not just against illness, but against despair. Even in silence, even when her voice could no longer echo through a theater or punch through a satirical monologue, her presence was felt. Messages of love, memories of laughter, and testimonies to her kindness flooded social media and news outlets in the days leading up to and following her passing. Fellow artists described her as the magician of expression, a guardian of authentic humor, and the most graceful soul in the wild world of performance. Fans remembered how she had changed their lives. Some recalled growing up watching her skits and learning how to see the absurdity in everyday life. Others remembered how her performances gave them hope during dark personal times. Her reach extended far beyond her immediate sphere. There are people who never met her, who may not even speak Polish, yet were touched by her performances online, subtitled, clipped, and shared across platforms, bearing proof that humor, when real, knows no borders. Joanna Kołaczkowska's passing is not just the loss of a comedian or a performer. It is the loss of a philosophy, a worldview built around the idea that laughter can heal, that art should challenge and comfort at once, and that true beauty lies in the ability to feel deeply even when it hurts. Her absence will linger in every quiet green room, in every first rehearsal, in every live performance where someone reaches for the same magic she once conjured so effortlessly. She has left us with her work, timeless, poignant, brilliant, but also with a challenge. To find the courage she had. To love art the way she did. To make others laugh, not for attention or applause, but because laughter makes living just a little more bearable.